Hello, everyone. We're going to go over the 4.9 documents your assembly file submission. Um, the first thing that I want you to know is that if you have not completed 4.8, where you assembled your puzzle cube, you have to do that first. No other way to go around it. But as we can see on the screen, I have my assembled puzzle cube from the previous assignment, so we're ready to begin. We're going to go over a new type of drawing file, and we're going to put what's called the exploded view and all that. This is kind of a final documentation file. So the first section that we're going to start with is the multi-view drawing section. All right. We're going to open our construction blocks. We have that. We're going to create the multi-view of the entire assembly. So we're going to follow the steps right down here. This time when we start a new drawing though, I'm going to go up here to File. Here's another way to start drawing, New Drawing. And this one I'm going to do from Design. And notice how it selects the entire assembly. As before, we come down here to Sheet Size, select A, 11 by 8.5, and hit OK. Let it load up. This time we're going to do just like we did before, where we place the base view and projected views. However, there's something I'm going to do, and you may see why in a little while. We're going to change the scale in just a bit. So let's just go ahead and do it from scale. Instead of 1 to 1, let's do a 1 to 2. That's 1/2 scale. And we're going to place the base view up here. Hit OK. Just like when we did before, we're going to do projected view. Selecting this, go here, here, and here to place and enter. That's just like before. I'm going to double click on our isometric view. I'm going to choose shaded. And even if you want to, you can come down to your other views and shade all of them, especially since you can kind of think of this as a solutions page. And that is everything that you need to do for the multi-view drawing section. The next section we're going to do is the exploded view. And we're going to create an exploded view with balloon annotations, which is this right here. So we're following these steps. The first thing to do is we need to change our workspace to animation. Okay, so we're going to go back to our puzzle cube file, the main one. Over here is where you change the workspace, and we're going to change this to what's called animation. This shows how your component should be assembled. I'm zooming out a little bit and moving it so I can view it easily. Next, we're going to do a manual explode. That is over here in this transform section. Manual explode E. It basically just lets us pull our assembly apart. Make sure that you click right here to turn on trail line visibility. So we're going to click a part that we want to explode. Trail line visibility should be turned on, and then you just drag it, click the direction, and drag it where you want. So visibility's on. This is the trail line. Drag where it should go, and then we're going to click OK. And we're going to continue working around our file doing that. I could click on the part that I want to do, then do transform explode, click the direction, do the explosion, turn on the visibility, and hit OK. And with that, we're just going to continue to explode our sketch. We're just pulling all of our parts away in a direction that makes sense. Trying to work from a right way to leave nothing but straight lines. Now, as you can see in our exploded view, there's all straight lines, and it just shows how this puzzle fits together. So that is how we've done this. We then need to come down. You can rename this storyboard. You can double click it, call it your exploded view, and you need to save your file again. And when it comes up version description, you can just hit OK. That's fine. Also, where you could create animations and other things like that. So that brings us through steps A, B, C, and D. That we got to go back to E. There's one thing that's missing, and I'll need to add that in. Go back to your drawing file. If you look over here to your reference, that means your reference file has saved, it's changed, and it needs to be updated. Because this file is linked to everything else that you can create. So when you change it, if you update it, it's going to update everything else. So click this, and now it's updated the file. All right. So now that we're back, we're going to come over here and we're going to select a base view because we just want to choose a base view that we're going to do. In our representation, instead of model, we want to click exploded view. All right. In style, make sure that shaded is clicked because we want it to be in color. All right. We have an appropriate scale already since we changed that earlier. And we want our tangent edges to be full length. All right. And then we're going to click to place our base view. And I'm going to hit OK. And then just to make sure it's fully within. And that is creating the exploded view and putting it on the drawing file. So that's the next part. After that, we're going to go to balloon annotations. That is this section here. So the balloon annotations are these little numbered things, and it goes with what's called a parts list right here. We're going to follow the guideline. And we're going to go here. Adding balloon annotations is pretty simple. We got to come under the table section, and we're going to select balloon. We've got type standard, select the edge of a component, drag, so click once to select, drag out and click to where you're going to place the balloon. Now, you may be wondering, that's the first thing I clicked. Why does it say number 3? Well, if you look in your part file, the blue part is the third piece I created. So I'm going to select balloon, click the part that I want, drag to where it's going to go, click to place. The green is number 1 because it's the first one I created. So basically, we're not going to worry about it too much. We're just going to click each thing, drag the balloon out, and then hit close. If you need to, you can click these and drag them as well to change stretch points and all that. and you're good to go on balloon annotation. All right, the next section we're going to work on here is the parts list. So it shows you information about your assembly, which is pretty easy to do. So we come over here to our file, we click tables, we click part list, select what we want the parts to come from. In this situation, it's got our balloon annotations. Then we place the parts list. And if you look where my cursor is, there's a little green setting that's going to set kind of the corner. So we're going to come right here so it nests very nicely. Now, if you look, our items are all numbered, correspond with the balloon. The part number goes with the name of the component, which is why it was important that you name those. The description's not in there, but we can always add that if we want. The material is wood, and that is automatically pulled from when you change the material. So that's why all of those things are important. All right. If you need to update any of this, what you need to do is come on over here and I'll show you an example of updating. Let's rename the purple part. I come over here and I can double click purple part. Just rename it to purple piece. And this, you don't have to do this. This is just an example. I'm going to then save because any changes I make, I'm saving. When I come back over here, you notice once again that the update reference is shown and you get the one warning for the changes to a reference. So I click that to relink. And now, if you notice, it's changed the name of the part. So if you update those things, it will update your drawing file. So if you need to change names, physical materials, any of that, you can go back and do it. Final thing I want you to do in the final section that we're going to add are the notes. Pull this back up so we can see. This is this section, the notes section. Notes are just anything that you can type out to give more information. We're going to add a note of how the parts are adhered. So we're not going to include our general tolerance note. I'm actually going to just delete that out. The instructions. In Fusion 360, we're going to select text. You can also click this. All right. We're going to choose where our notes are going to be added. I'm just going to add it right here, corner 1, opposite corner. We're just dragging it out to where we want our text box to be. It's basically all that's happening. And then in the note, here's where you can change the font, all that. I'm just going to add a note that all parts are adhered with tacky glue. If you ever need to add symbols, you can do it here. And then I'm just going to hit close. And you can drag the note to wherever you want it to be. All right. And after you've done that, you've created the file. Let's save it. I'm going to save it as presentation drawing. I'd like you to export it as a PDF. Let's go ahead and click open so it does it. When you export it as a PDF, that is something that you can just print right out. you are finished. You're going to insert a screenshot into the submission document and answer the conclusion questions and turn it in. That is all that you have to do for this assignment.